Good evening and welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program. My name is Pooks and tonight we will continue on our journey to make super fantastic Dyson Spheres in all our systems. Now it was a little bit up for grabs as to whether or not this stream would actually happen tonight, as someone got a little bit enthusiastic, shall we say, at a construction site and managed to cut through not one but two fiber optic cables, denying the place where I live internet. So this was almost going to be a recorded one. But fortunately, we're back. They seem to have repaired whatever they did, or a good portion of it, enough for me to stream anyway. And we're able to continue on our journey tonight. So, in tonight's episode, we are going to shore up our supply of processors, because we are starting to use an awful lot of them. We're running down our supplies here. I mean, we do have a bit at the moment, but yeah, as things progress, we used a whole heap of purple science down here. And I know that I'm going to want more and more of these as the game progresses. So that's our plan. And so from here we'll go to oh, actually, do I have all the things I need? I do have an awful lot of acid that I don't need. Dump that at some point. I reckon we've probably got enough. I mean, the good thing about the electronic factory is it's not far from our actual home planet. Now I'm just going to come in for a landing here. Hey, that was actually a half decent landing too. Maybe, just maybe, I'm getting better at this. Or it's just because of low velocities. But anyway, so let's get rid of all the acid. Can we just? Is there a? Nope. Is it Control Shift? I'm just trying to work out how I can just kind of pick it all up at once, but I have to click, it seems. All right, delete that. We'll pick up the petroleum. Delete. Get rid of this water that I've got in here too. Don't need this rock. And just get rid of that letter. Okay, that's a bit better. Okay, so we had set up this originally with a little bit of foresight, I guess you could say, thinking, hey, we're going to be expanding out this place. We're going to be making it bigger, we're going to be making it better, and the time has come for that. Now I had also planned out ratios, but I'm not sure I got it right from the looks of things. So we've got 5, 6, we have 12 microcrystalline component recipes happening down here. And then up top we have another 12 processors. It's going to take 2 every 3 seconds. So if I have 12 of these, then I'm going to need... what is that going to be? That's a good question. Alright, so every 3 will mean that I need 2 a second. Right, so times that up by 4. Then, yeah, 8 a second. Is that right? Hang on. No. Every 3 I will need 2 a second. That's 4, is 8 a second? Yeah, okay. And if we've got 12 of these going, then every 2 seconds I should be producing 6 a second at the moment. Alright. So to match our current demand, we actually need a little bit more. Now the other part of this is that we don't seem to have sufficient copper either. So we're going to go check out why that might be the case. That would be because our copper plant ain't keeping up with demand. Gotta keep up, buddy. I'm gonna speed you up. Give you some new belts. Make you a new man. Yeah. that's certainly going to help with our copper output. Now I'm just wondering here, we've got like 16. Is a very odd number to produce. But it should produce 16 a second, if I remember this correctly. Yeah, it's 1-to-1 ratio. So more than this belt can handle, but not the capacity of the belt. So it feels like a very odd choice for me to have done, but you know, it is the choice that I made at the time, apparently. So we're just gonna make sure everything's kind of upgraded, doing its best, living its best life and all that. And the other thing that's not happening here is that the silicon input is not keeping up speed, so we're gonna upgrade that as well. Alright, there we go. How many have we got of these? We've got 1, 2, 3. We've got a rung of 24 here. Alright, so that should mean, if we've got 24 of them, that we're making 12 a second at the moment. It's every 2 seconds, right? Now that is not going to be enough to do a full belt of silicon either. If we actually can start consuming these belts of capacity, it's not gonna do it for us. Now we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So to meet our current demands, we are going to put down 2 more. Just get that done, so this can start catching up and make all of them run. I think that is also going to produce a fairly good pattern to work off, right? So 12 of these, I need 14 of these. Was it 14? Oh god, I'm forgetting already. Yep. So these, again, I'll grab a pen, a bit of paper, and I can write these numbers down, right? So for 3 of them, I need 2 a second. So 3 equals 2 per second. And so for 12 of them, that's 4 times that amount. That is 8 a second is our current requirement for 12. Per 12, yep, alright. Which means to produce 8 a second, then I need 16 of these. 16? 16. Because every 2 seconds, therefore halve it. Alright, so have I got 16? I don't think I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, okay, so 15. 15. Why? Oh, lack of items. How have I got a lack of items? Ah, because these are going old style. Old school ones. Just do that. Alright, cool. And just slightly more. Okay, now we have everything we need to run that to perfection. Now let's just double check our... Alright, so I'm just going to write that down. So 16 microcrystalline components, so we'll say MCCs to 12 processors, and then these guys, just 3 of them, are producing 12 a second of our circuit boards. And I've said that I need 8 a second. So yeah, that should be oversupplying. Wait, 3 of these, hang on. Who taught me math? Terrible. Terrible, that is 6. Oh my god. What is wrong with me? Anyway, irrespective of what's wrong with me. The reason why it's even attempting to keep up, I suspect, is because it's overpowered stuff coming in. Proliferated, that's the word. Alright. Cool. Okay, so our silicon seems to be keeping up, partially because I've got inputs here, partially because I've built some here. Alright. Our copper is probably going to be the first thing to take a hit, but that's okay. We have plans. Now, I want to, let's say, triple the output here. I think triple would be good. Alright, yep, triple will work. The first thing I'm going to do is just upgrade these guys. So they're all using their latest and greatest technology. Same with you. So I'm going to be constructing you. I just don't want to run out of stuff or have it tell you. You don't have those things when I really, really do. Or I've got the, you know, better versions of them. Make sure that's all up to date. Alright. Now, tripling this is potentially a big deal. So we're going to start at the easiest parts. Right, and the easiest part is just our circuit boards down here, right? Hands down, the easiest part is to just extend this along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we need another 2. Okay. Easy peasy, nearly done. Not quite done, because these are our outputting 2 per second, right? Or thereabouts. Probably slightly more, actually. And so that will be probably problematic. The other thing is we need to upgrade our import pelt for our iron for a start. Right, we want to make you go like that. Sure, we have plenty of iron coming in. Now, outputs. So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of these. So they should produce in theory 24 a second. Actually, our top tier belts can take it because they do actually take 30 a second. So I assume 24. And I assumed wrong. Okay, cool. Now, I feel like the next thing I want to do is do a blueprint. Gonna yoink this one. And we're gonna call it microcrystalline. How have I got those old style belts? Quit mode. Find those old style belts and we're gonna nuke them. Ain't no your kind around here. Excellent. Alright, so cool. So MCC times 16. Save the blueprint, and then we're going to use it. And we're going to output as 1. And then 2. And we're missing stuff. Of course we are. Of course we are. That stuff is belts. We ran around and upgraded everything. We're a damn fool. Alright, we'll just let it do its thing here. Okay, so we're going to need to head back to our home planet and pick up some more belts, that's fine. That's not far away. Just gotta get pointed in the right direction. There's Earth, just peeping around the gas giant. Ignore the giant Jupiter in the way. Yet another graceful landing. Okay, so it's somewhere around here. Yeah, there we go. There's our belt boxes. So we'll drop off the old. I do like to keep a few of them just in case I need to upgrade intermediate stages. And we'll grab up some new belts. Plenty of them. Don't want to run out again. We've got sorters, we've got assemblers. Yeah, okay. That looks pretty good otherwise. Cool. Back to the electronics planet. As I can see, oh, there it is. It's nearly eclipsing the sun, isn't that pretty? Pretty. Oh. Getting into kind of orbit here, and that'll speed up our ability to get to where we want to be. It's down here. Atom boys. Excellent. Alright, so we have more of them ready. Now we're going to leave this space for extra microcrystalline components. I know, you're thinking, what? What's he talking about? Who knows how many processors we're going to need? We're probably going to need to expand this out even more. So what we're going to do is, again, just make sure that we're operating with the highest possible grade of service here, which I think we are. And we'll grab our belts. You know what? I'm going to get rid of these two. Oh, and I just killed power. Just killed power. Oops, sorry folks. There we go. Take a blueprint, not that. That chunk seems right. And we're going to call it processors X12. Oh man, there is at least one of them. Where are you? There. Damn thing. Alright, try again. Okay. So, processors X12. Save that blueprint. Gonna use it straight away. One and two. I could make them a little bit tighter because I can sandwich those power in between, but just in case, having that little gap can also be a bit of a lifesaver in terms of if you've made a mistake in your organization and you need a little bit of space to run a belt, then you can do a lot of things with even just a single gap. Cool. Alright. So, the next thing that we want to do is put some inputs into this bad boy over here. Alright, so we have Silicon and copper are the two things that we need. Now each row of these will take an awful lot of materials. So let's work it out, shall we? We are doing 16 of these things, so and we need 2 a second, so that's 16 times, or 2 per cycle, sorry. 16 times 2, of course, is 32, but then we also divide it by 2 because it's every 2 seconds that it runs. So I need 16 a second of silicon. And then in terms of our copper requirements, then that's going to be even less. We're going to need an 8 a second input per line of these. Right, now, knowing that our top tier belts will run 30 a second, that means that one of these belts can't quite service 2. Now, because it is proliferated materials though, it will. So that's the difference. One of these is that we can tell one line of silicon is going to be 2 rows, and then we need another line of silicon to make up the gap. Now to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to cut a gap here, cut a gap here as well, and then we're going to run this like so. And then this like so. Now we'll run that in, and then it can run down and feed in again. And then this one is going to run across like this, and then down, and then in. Run it in like it was before. Excellent. Now we know that this one needs to end here, so we're just going to do that. The copper, however, can continue on its merry way doing the same thing that it was before, so we'll even just use... Oi! Shift. Shift as a copy. Yeah, there we go. Copy that splitter. Finally. Like so. Run it down. Keep it running up to say there, in case we do end up doing with something with silicon, who knows. And then we want another line of silicon, and we want this proliferated as well, just to conserve basically our stuff, our materials as much as possible. Because proliferation is a cheap sort of thing. So our line of silicon is going to come out from here. Why does it keep doing that? I don't know. Just wanted to take a turn there. But immediately we're going to put a proliferation line on it. And then we can pick up our spray paint material, or proliferation material, from over here, and just run it down like so, so that it is proliferating all the silicon that comes out of it. Brilliant. Okay, now because this silicon line could end up feeding 2, we will use another splitter down the way here, like that. Get it to run down and carve off like this. Now I've just wasted my thing that I was doing there as well. Yeah, it's alright, I'll run it under if I need to. I don't think I will, so it'll probably be a moot point. We seem to be missing a little bit of power there, but apart from that, everything's gone in. We are missing How did I not split it there? That's strange of me. Oh well. It's all good people. Oops. There we go. Alright, we got all our copper coming in. Now, the copper's started struggling to keep up. Because while it can transfer 30 a second, we're probably not actually pumping 30 a second into it. In fact, I would dare say that we're pumping far less. We are pumping 16 a second in there. So 2 of these rows should actually start ripping through all our copper. Not to mention it is also splitting off to make those circuit boards. So that is also something that we want to fix. I'm just thinking the best way to do this, and the best way to do it might be to cut it there, and to make our mega smelter. Right, because we could get a full 30 a second out of this bad boy, right? So why don't we do that? Also run it down like that. Now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have 16 if we're mirroring. $18, $20. So therefore we need another 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. Didn't need to be that mega. Okay, we'll save the belts. Just trim them at the edges here. Grab our copper inputs and yoink them in like that. Now, we may not have enough input to really feed this up properly, so we're going to upgrade some belts here. Oh, we're going to need to put some power down as well, that's always helpful. Apply a factory of power. Okay, now this thing should now be outputting at 30 a second in copper. Just want to make sure our belt is up to the highest premium quality. Looks to be. Let's make sure that they're feeding in as much as possible. Now it's actually all good. Once this finishes, then there's actually a heap of copper mines on this planet. There is ridiculous amounts of copper. We've got 11 million. So once it runs out, I can actually switch this to outputting copper ore and feeding into the system. So we could do a full belt just from this alone. Just roll run it through that logistics station. Alright, so we now have all the copper we need. Therefore, we technically have all the microcrystalline components that we need, and then some probably. Which means that we can start producing as much of the processors that we need here. Or as much as we've allowed for anyway. Maybe not what we need all up, but we will be tripling our processor capacity, output, that's the word. Okay, so we've already got these lines coming off, like so. We want them all to be proliferated. So, we're probably going to run them in from this direction to do it. Just gotta think this through, right? So you can output along. You can start going up about there. Yep, that'll get you under. That's all proliferated at that point. Good, good. And then get you down. I think we'll be okay there. Let's just test it, make sure it's working before we're on the belts. Ah, again, it's like I planned it. I mean, I totally planned it. You know, I'm a genius. Yep, that's it. That's definitely it. Totally planned, people. About there, then we're gonna go up again. Oh, I see what I did to myself there. That's okay though. So it's all part of the plan, not plan. Alright, we'll make you go up to here, then come across and go down into that fantastic, lovely machine there. Now come on, don't do that. I know that you're fit. Just got to get the right angle to get the belt here. There it is. Oh, and you into. There we are. Cool. All right, now back on this one. You can tell it to just run a little bit further. I'm interested to know if anyone else has spotted the same planning problem that I have, but don't care about just at the moment. That's 2 off the equatorial line. And then we're going to run down to normal levels, please. Drop this in here. And then run this across like so. And back down. Get you to here. And back down as well. Alright, so that is one part of the puzzle done. The other part of the puzzle is, of course, our circuit boards, which I'm actually going to yoink from here. Do that. That could have been lovely. Right. Do it like that. Okay, so still go in, still go out one level. Go across to there. Go in. Like that, and then down, and then we'll just do the normal level, like so. Voila! Now, I needed... how many circuit boards a second for one of those rungs? I think it's 3. I mean, it's stacking up, but... hey, some power there. Why is that not a problem? Anyway. It those stacking, so I think we're all good. We'll make the top one the priority. So that should ensure that this belt is always full, and then we get a split here as well as the extras coming off there. Excellent. Now, how are we going on power on this planet? We're still charging up during the day cycle, and we're below the satisfaction requirements, so that's good. Alright, that's pretty good. We have just tripled our output of processors, so we now have 36 of those guys are working. So what's 36 divided by 3 is of course 12 a second. So it's a green belt worth of them. Not a blue belt, but a green belt. And that is actually pretty good in my book. Now the next thing we're starting to hurt on a little bit is that we're using up a lot of spray paint material. So we'll want to make sure that that starts coming out at a faster rate. Yes, you need speeding up, guys. Upgrades. That should help a fair bit. They're all stacking up, that's all running. How is the power? All discharging, but we have a fair bit of energy accumulated, so that's alright. And stacking back, so that's okay. As long as our proliferation machines are all getting in. Oh, see, it's not. It is not getting enough. It's not getting to this silicon line up here. Oh, it's running very low. Extremely low, in fact. folks. Quarterly numbers are down. This makes boss unhappy. Yeah, not enough diamonds. Okay, so we're gonna fix that somehow. So, diamond recipes. Need one every 2 seconds. This produces every 2 seconds is gonna produce one. So it should be a 1-to-1 correlation. Yep. And yet that's not what we've got. So that to me says we can do an immediate upgrade without too much work. Which is the best kind of upgrades. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Double our diamonds. Oh, we had 7 going. What we got here? We got runs of 6. So we should be able to. We should now be consuming graphite faster than we can produce it technically. But we are proliferating it, of course, so that means extra diamonds coming out. Alright, that's filled up these guys quite nicely. And they're now all running at speed. We might just see if we can tack a cheeky one on the end here. Because why not? More spray paint. Just fly over these, or do you actually walk down? Yeah, you do, we walk down. Hide in the ditch. Our iron supplies are not keeping up either. See if we can fix that. Now, part of it is our inputs. Unfortunately, I should say, not fortunately, we do have very limited iron supplies on this planet. So what we've got is what we've got, pretty much. After that, we do need to start importing. Got this little chunk here, and then we've got another chunk up there. Yeah, I might get this iron running into that and transport it down. We'll use our on-planet resources before we do anything else. Go, that's got heaps of those. This has got drones, right? Yep, good. Going down here. We can put you just in the middle. Do that. Local demand. Not even going to fill you up with drones, right? Maybe someday later. And you can be outputting. I don't know why it wants to keep going off to the side there. little bit annoying, to be honest. Now we will do that, but we're going to do it with a twist. Let's put that upstream first. Alright, so that system allows these ones to output first and they'll be exhausted first. And then these two to fill up the gap, basically. And that means these are now producing at their peak. So we have 12 a second here, 12 a second here. So we're outputting 24 a second total. So not quite a full blue belt. But it should start making a huge difference to our supplies here. Now we have currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have what? Hang on. Yep, 12 of those. So we should need 24 a second when it's running at full pelt. Yep. Alright. So should be equal supplies. Everything should get to run now because it's proliferated. It will go a little bit further. These guys are flat out, but we're not quite getting the materials we need down to the end here. Why is that? It's not quite keeping up with demand here. Oh, hang on, incoming call. Sorry about that, folks. Just a call from my brother who has, unfortunately, his child has caught coronavirus. but he's just ensuring me that all is well, which is fantastic news. So far, mild symptoms. We should be so lucky. Cool. So, good news all around, and the good news is that we solved that silicon problem, which was basically just that my belt wasn't properly set up there. And this by itself can't keep up. Right, too much demand. Too much demand. I need half the silicon coming from here. And that's pulling it from other production facilities on the planet, right? We've got some over there that's outputting silicon. It's actually starting to get a run for its money now. Actually, that's probably not I'm thinking it's probably not enough output. But even speeding up the belts isn't going to do anything, really, I don't think. I don't think it will. Because they're flowing from the miners at maximum capacity at the moment. So, cool. But yeah, we've got other things set up here, and you know, we have plenty of room for expansion. Now, I was talking about earlier on in the season going through and setting up these massive factories so I don't have to come back all the time, and that is still on the cards to do. But I think when I said that, I was probably a little bit too ambitious at the point that I was at. You know, there were many other things to do before we got to that point. But look, we're full on processors now as well. That's great. So we'll get rid of all the excess in our inventory and just delete that off. And that's that part done. Now I'm just going to check my timer. We have another 15 minutes remaining. So bonus content, people. Bonus. What's the next thing we do? Alright, so the processors were going to be important because we needed processors, or going to need a heap of them for quantum chips. We're going to need a heap of them for small carrier, well, not carrier rockets. What is it? The Dyson Sphere components. So these were all kind of necessary upgrades if you're wondering why we were tackling those. Now we are trying to get to green science as well, so we're going to need more graviton lenses set up, which means more diamond production, which means more graphite. We also need Casimir crystals to be set up, which requires organic crystals, titanium crystals, ultimately a heap of graphene, which we set up in last episodes, as well as lots and lots of hydrogen, like serious amounts of hydrogen. But I'm hoping from our two gas planets that we've mined out that we'll be able to do that. So, where to from here is the question. Well, we're going to go back to home planet, back to Earth. So I work out where it is. There it is. And we're going to start planning out some of these factories. Because Earth has lots of power. Lots and lots of power. And we'll probably be tearing down a lot of these wind power stations as well. In case you were wondering. We don't really need wind now that we have microfusion generators, as well as our Dyson Sphere bringing power. I mean, look at this demand. It's nothing compared to our generation capacity. And not to mention that nothing's really happening here anymore. It's all capped out, said we've done everything we need. So all this here is going to be repurposed to plastic production. I might keep the graphene factory here just for the time being, because I think I might end up needing it. What's this necessary for? Yeah. Because while we're producing a heat from fire ice, we might start this up again. At the moment, I believe I've paused it just by blocking the output, but that could change in the future. why aren't you? You're on remote demand. Got warpers. Oh, there we go. Yeah, it's because of transport range. Bring in the graphene, please. Oh, that probably stuffed up the production of solar cells as well, I'd say. Yep, these are all empty. All been shot into space. Yep. Now, Dyson Swarm is probably suffering a bit from that. Yeah. That's alright, that'll all be fixed soon. Good thing I noticed that. Be very confused as to why things weren't happening. Yeah, and then we don't have this being produced either, which is part of the reason why we don't have huge amounts happening. Because these guys, well, these guys should be demanding crystal, plastic. Pardon me. Which they're not. Okay. So from here, what was the thing? We were thinking along the lines of Casimir crystals, which means more titanium crystals. And because we're doing green science, we're also going to need more graviton lenses, which means more diamonds as well. Where to begin? I think we're going to begin with titanium crystals. So, the stuff up here that we already have producing titanium crystals, which is just this tiny little factory here, is just for our science. So we're going to leave that dedicated to science, and we're going to set up something else instead. You'll do. You will do, sir. So, you're going to produce them. You can supply them. You're going to remote storage, local demand. And what was the other thing this is? Titanium. Yep. Remote storage, local demand, but not that much. Let's just say, let's give it around 1,000 either way. Right. Now, these take every 4 seconds, it's going to need 3 titanium and 1 organic crystal. So, that just makes it hard. Really, they're just making the math harder and harder as we go along. But let's work on outputs rather than inputs. So let's pretend that we want a green belt of that. What will that give us over here? It's a 1-to-1 correlation for our Casimir crystals, right? So if we want a green belt of Casimir crystals for these things, then we want a green belt of that. And if we want a green belt of that, every 4 seconds, that means we need... Green belt's 12 second, right? Yep. So that means lots of titanium crystals. That means lots and lots of titanium crystals, alright. But we're going to do that, even though it means lots and lots. So 4 rows of 12, basically. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 12? I'm pretty sure there's 12 above us. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, alright. Now, we are going to want splitters. Same like that. So this will be getting it back in. No, we can't. Some chunky little guys, aren't they? Alright, so what if we do maybe just 2 separate belts. Get rid of that. Thank you titanium instead. Bring you down, like so. And we're also going to want you down, and then it's going to come back in. Titanium crystals. Alright, and then what I'm thinking here is that we can do like just a dual row or something. I was originally thinking snaking it down around, but actually we just do another factory here, and then we go input, output, input. Also titanium crystals, yep, that's exactly what we want. Run it down like so. The only question then becomes, is it going to suck up too much titanium for it to all run here? And instead of trying to work out the math, I think the quickest way is just to watch what happens. We're good. Yeah, we are absolutely not using 30 seconds of titanium. Excellent. And that gives us titanium crystals to work with for our Casimir crystals later on. Alright, or at least one set of it. Now, I am now thinking that the snake is the good idea now. I know I'm changing my mind. That's my prerogative. So, 2, 3, yeah. Be able to do that. Make it run like that. Make this run like this. That up. It needs to be below that line. is happening? Run you like this. Yeah, they do it like that. Alright. May have hit the limits. Yeah, so we're not going to get quite the full output of titanium crystals as a result, because we don't have enough titanium outputting. We want a slightly bigger reserve here as well. Now, to solve this problem, I'm going to do something very, very simple. You might be thinking, finally he's using stackers, but I still, well, originally I was thinking, oh, that would be so useful. I've gone off them slightly. Oh, you know what I should be doing is putting down proliferators around here. Got a line there. I don't know why I'm not doing it. Anyway, and the reason why I thought about that then is because that would be the ideal place to put it, is just down the output line here. There was my alarm just then as well to remind me to not spend my entire evening till, or not to spend copious amounts of time and keep people awake on this, so we will be finishing. But the simplest way to deal with this is just to add another line. Later on, when it's going to need some backup, it's going to get back up. And it will always give priority to this, but it will sort out the gap, which means basically we've got an extra full line coming in, and that's going to fill it up. Problemo solved. Now, what we should be doing is proliferating the inputs at least, possibly outputs as well, but we haven't thought that far ahead clearly. Should be proliferating here as well, I suspect. Can't quite catch the outputs here. Alright, that can be tomorrow's job. Yep, tomorrow, this is boring stuff. I'm just gonna split off this line, run it through here, so we're proliferating some materials. And just making sure that we're taking the greatest advantage of our resources that we have. That's it for tonight, folks. So tonight we've expanded our processes and gotten our titanium crystal production up and running, ready for Casimir crystals. Next time we will start up the production of those Casimir crystals as well. Start bringing in copious amounts of hydrogen, get that graphene going, and yes, start using these titanium crystals that we just set up. and start with those, which will feed into plane filters, which means that we're going to need titanium glass going as well, and that's another process. And eventually that's going to eventuate in our quantum chips, plane filters and then quantum chips. Those quantum chips, of course, are incredibly important for our green science here. They will be important for our carrier rockets too when we start using our Dyson sphere or constructing our Dyson sphere. And then we'll also walk backwards and start making more frame material, making more. I've only got one factory doing that just so I can get particle splitters, accelerators, sorry, and more. Yeah, getting our components running so we can send that into space, and away we go. We'll be doing great things. Now I'm just gonna drop those in the boxes while I'm remembering waste not. I want to waste our resources. They're precious to us. Top that up while I'm looking at it. But that's it for tonight. Ah, look, our purple science is going in. Now here I was thinking the box was just filled up, but that was not the case. It's proliferating, yep, just double checking. Yeah, so that's it for tonight. Sorry folks, I keep saying this and then keep talking and doing stuff. It's a dangerous game like that. I hope you did enjoy this stream. If you did, then please drop me a follow. We have a new goal of 20. We got to 10 5 days ago. Our new goal is to hit 20 people who like our content and want to keep watching. So if you do enjoy it, drop me a follow. If you're watching later on YouTube, drop me a like and subscribe if you're feeling particularly fantastic. And I will see you next time. Bye.